Welcome to today's explainer. We're going to dive right into a classic story called The Eagle and the Jackdaw. Now, as we go through this, we'll actually be breaking down a few tricky English words to really help us understand the big lesson hiding inside this ancient fable. Let's get started.
So right off the bat, we're faced with a pretty huge question. Can a small bird do a big bird's job? This right here is the whole core of our story today. It's all about figuring out what we're actually capable of and, well, knowing our limits. Let's jump into the story and see exactly what happens.
The powerful eagle flew high and took the young lamb. Picture this, we're high up in the mountains. A giant eagle is gliding on these massive, powerful wings. She spots a little lamb way down in the green fields below, and in a flash, she takes it away to her nest.
Now, when birds hunt like this, we say they swoop. To swoop means to fly down from the sky very, very quickly. Think of an airplane suddenly dropping right out of the clouds. That sudden, fast downward motion, that's a swoop.
And this brilliantly illustrates our next word. Because how exactly did the eagle grab that lamb? Well, she seized it in her strong talons. Talons are the sharp claws on a bird of prey. You could think of them like incredibly sharp, strong fingers that are perfectly designed for catching other animals.
A small bird watched from a tree. You see, the eagle wasn't actually alone out there. While she was doing all that impressive swooping and hunting, someone else was sitting quietly in the branches, paying very close attention.
So what kind of bird was watching? It was a jackdaw. And a jackdaw is basically just a small black bird. They're super common, and the really important thing to remember here is that a jackdaw is much, much smaller than an eagle. Keep that tiny size in mind because it is definitely going to matter.
Let's just compare these two birds for a second. The eagle, big and strong. The jackdaw, small and, well, silly. This little jackdaw was watching the massive eagle and totally forgot how tiny he really was. In fact, his little head was filling up with one completely foolish thought. He said to himself, "I am big and strong too. I can do what the eagle does." He literally watched this massive bird hunt and thought, "Yep, I can definitely do that too." The jackdaw puffed out his feathers to look fierce. He's getting ready to attack, right? So he pushes all his feathers outward to try and make his body look way bigger and scarier than it actually is.
He was also making a very specific sound, a rustling sound. Rustling is the soft, crackling noise. It kind of sounds like stepping on dry leaves in the fall. He was shaking those puffed-up feathers, trying so hard to sound like a big, dangerous hunter.
The jackdaw flew down and grabbed the large animal. He makes his move. He flies down to the field as fast as he can, and with all the tiny strength he has in his little body, he lands squarely on an animal's back.
Now here's the problem. He didn't grab a baby lamb. He grabbed a ram. A ram is a large, heavy male sheep, and they are covered in incredibly thick wool. Think about the huge difference here. The lamb, small, easy for a massive eagle to carry. The ram, extremely large and way too heavy for a little jackdaw. In fact, the ram was so huge it probably didn't even notice the little bird landing on it.
He pulled. Suddenly, our little jackdaw realizes he made a massive mistake, and he desperately just wants to fly away.
He struggled. He's pulling. He's trying as hard as he absolutely can to get loose. Panic is totally setting in.
He could not escape. That's the sad truth of it. He was completely, hopelessly stuck to the back of this giant sheep.
So why exactly couldn't he fly away? Well, his tiny claws were tangled deep in that thick sheep's wool. Tangled means caught or twisted together, so much that you're unable to move. It's just like when hair gets really messy and knotted up. The wool completely trapped his little feet.
He tried and tried to fly, but all he could do was flutter. To flutter means to wave your wings quickly in a panic without actually going anywhere. He's beating his wings as fast as he can, but he is stuck fast to the ram's back.
The shepherd caught the bird and clipped his wings. The farmer who takes care of the sheep, the shepherd, saw all this fluttering happening. He walks over, catches the poor little bird, and clips the ends of his wings so he can't fly off and cause any more trouble.
That evening, the shepherd brings this funny, grumpy little bird home to his children. They're all laughing at him, and they ask, "What do you call it, Father?"
The shepherd just smiles at them and says, "That is a jackdaw," but he would tell you he is an eagle. The shepherd completely understood what happened. The bird failed because he forgot who he was and tried to be something he definitely wasn't.
Which brings us to the big takeaway of this explainer. Do you know your own limits? It is absolutely wonderful to be brave and try hard things, but we also have to understand who we are and what we can realistically do. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this story today. Keep practicing your English, and we'll see you next time.